Hello and welcome back to my channel. We are doing another episode of Make It Healthy this week. This week we're doing onion rings, which I am so excited for. I tried out this recipe a few days ago and it turned out pretty well. They were pretty scrumptious. So we are going to get straight into it. This is a super quick, easy recipe. I actually had these in mind for grand final day. So like you've got people over, you're watching the footy and you want some like food that's not so great for you, but you're on like the health is wealth train and you want a healthy alternative. This is a great way to make a fan favorite at home, aka onion rings. So what I've just done there while I was yapping at you, I have just cut off the skin and the top of the onion and just taken off any of the gross first layer. And honestly, this is such a quick recipe. It'll be done before you freaking know it. And I'm still obsessed with my other Make It Healthy recipes. So third one going into the Make It Healthy archives are the onion rings. So now I have gotten rid of all the icky skin from the onion. I'm just gonna go ahead and make slices, like 1 centimeter rings. Like not that thick, but thick enough that they've got a bit of body to them. Right, so I've just used like half an onion, just flat, and then you're gonna get a bowl. And this bit you have to do a little bit more carefully. You're just going to separate the onion and get your little rings. So once we cover them in the batter, this is what they're gonna look like. That is perfect. Honestly, they were so good the other day, I actually shocked myself. So I really hope you enjoy them. Right, we're just gonna do these with the rest of the onion. I'm gonna put this in time lapse so you don't just have to watch me slowly peel onion off. So this is what we have got so far. This is what our pre-onion rings look like. We've just got our individual rings and you can imagine what they're gonna look like once we have cooked them. So, oh, making me cry. Wanting delicious but comes with tears. So the next step, we are going to get 2 eggs and we're gonna whisk them up in a bowl. They are going to act as the like sealant on the batter. All right, 1 egg, 2 eggs, perfect. Just gonna, whisk that up with a fork. Okay, then we get another bowl for flour. I'm just using like plain all-purpose flour. And you are just gonna start with half a cup of flour. So before you start doing any dipping, you wanna make sure your tray is lined with baking paper and ready to go. I'm gonna use the egg fork because I wanna make sure I'm getting the egg all over each onion ring. So this is kind of how it will look. Doesn't look like much now, but once it's cooked, it'll be delish. So the reason why I only started with half a cup of onion ring is because we are putting the rings back and forth from the egg to the flour, so the egg can get quite clumpy. Depending on how big your onion is will depend on how much flour you will end up needing to use. But now I'm just gonna start with a half cup because I've got a lot of onion and I know I'm gonna need more than that. When selecting your onion at the shops though, you do want to pick a nice big juicy one. Your onion ring goes in the egg first, swirl it around, in the flour, okay, and then back in the egg again. And you'll find you'll get these like lovely golden onion rings. And they turned out so good the other day. I don't know if it was just luck or what was going on, but they were delicious. You really want to make sure the flour is all over the onion ring. Perfect. Look at that. I'm going to show you what's happening down here. So we are dipping it in the egg, transferring it to the flour bowl, and I'm using a fork, 1, because I don't love the feeling of egg on my hands, and 2, it just gets a more distributed coverage for the onion ring. I'm going to pick it up, take it to the tray, and on it goes. Like literally, can you see what it's going to look like? If they start to do this and that flour comes back, just pick them up, pop them back in the egg and give them another little run through. You want to make sure that egg is covering it. I'm going to finish these, show you what they look like on the tray at the end. And yeah, you'll see the finished product too. Or also, I forgot to say, I've preset the oven to 200 degrees Celsius. I've got a fan forced oven, so if not fan forced, it'd be probably 200 and then flip it halfway through cooking. All right, I'm gonna finish these. I'm gonna put you on a time lapse. I will see you in a minute when I finish my rings. Okay, so I've done all I can for one tray. This is how much egg I have left. It's obviously got a few little chunkies in it, but it's fine. And this is how much onion I've got left. I could probably get half of that done with how much egg is left, and I would need some new flour as this is getting quite clumpy, and that's fine. Like, flour is quite cheap to buy, so if this happens, just dispose of this flour, get some new flour, and continue on. But for now, those bad boys are in the oven. It's set to about 200 degrees, beautiful, and I'm gonna leave those to cook and I will be back in a bit. So at the 15-minute mark, I'm gonna take them out and they'll look like this. Right, I've obviously just eaten one, sorry. You'll take them out and they're gonna look like this. Then you are going to get salt, pepper, and some smoked paprika and put it all over the top, just as much as you fancy, and then back in for 5 minutes to make them nice and crispy. Salt, pepper. You could also put this in the egg batter and it would give the same effect, but I am just kind of a likes seasoning after the fact kind of person, so I feel like it just comes to the forefront more. Alright, and now they're going to be like spicy and salty and they'll be so good. Alright, so this is what they look like now. Definitely starting to look more onion ringy. Now I have done that with the salt and the pepper and the paprika. I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil spray over the top to help them get nice and crispy. That will crisp them right up and get that, like, good onion ringy vibe. They're going back in 5 more minutes and then they will be done and delicious. Goodbye. Here is the final product. These are the onion rings. They are like crunchy. I'm not sure if you can hear that. They are crunchy and crispy. And they're super good and they're not very oily. And they're a great healthy alternative to the real thing. Obviously, you don't get all that same flavor that you get from an onion ring because it's cooked in like a bunch of fat and oil and stuff, but pretty good. It's definitely going to be going in the rotation. I'm a fan. Let me know. Let me stop eating. Let me know if you try this recipe at home and what else you'd like me to try and make healthier. Grand finals coming up, so if you want me to try anything in particular, let me know because I want to try it so you can have it. That is all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. If you haven't already, please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe as I post every single week. See you next time.